Welcome to Unlocking Language, where we show you how ancient Greek and Latin words can be the key to the English language. Today we're having a look at a Latin word, sub, which has the meaning of under or beneath. And in English this is usually a prefix. In other words, it goes at the beginning of another word. So here's a series of sentences with a missing word. You can complete the sentence by using an English word that starts with that prefix sub. Let's have a look at them together and then you can have a go at working out what they are. So a ship that sails under the sea is a what beginning with sub. Number 2, a person under the control of another is their what beginning with sub. Under the surface soil of the ground lies the what beginning with sub. Number 4, a what beginning with sub injection is given under the skin. Number 5, what beginning with sub fauna are animals that are adapted to live underground. Pause the video now while you figure out what they are. Okay, how did we get on? Let's have a look. So, a ship that sails under the sea, I'm sure you've all managed to figure out, is a submarine. Number 2, a person under the control of another is their subordinate. That's a word that you might come across in sociology or psychology, or maybe even if you're studying languages with subordinate clauses. Number 3, under the surface soil of the ground lies the subsoil. So we have the surface soil and we have underneath that the subsoil. Number 4, this is a great word. A subcutaneous injection is given under the skin. You might come across that in biology, and certainly if you're thinking of going into any medical sort of field, that's a word you will come across quite often. Number 5 then, subterranean fauna are animals that are adapted to live underground. So subterranean literally means under the ground because the word terra is the Latin word for the ground. Moving on. Here are some more words. You might find the pictures useful in helping you to decide what these are. Again, they all begin with sub. When floodwaters go down, they are said to what? The title of a separate section under the same heading is called a what? A what is a tunnel used by pedestrians which goes under the road. What Africa is made up of the African regions geographically south of the Sahara Desert. And number 10, to cause something to be below the waterline is to what it. Okay, remember all these words begin with the prefix sub. Pause the video now and have a go at deciding what they are. How did we get on? When floodwaters go down, they are said to subside. That is, of course, a word that you might come across in geography. Number 7. The title of a separate section under the same heading is called a subheading. I'm sure you've all come across this at school when you've been writing in your exercise books. Number 8. A subway is a tunnel used by pedestrians which goes under the road. Again, I'd be willing to bet you've all used a subway at one time or another. Number 9, sub-Saharan Africa is made up of the African regions geographically south of the Sahara Desert. Again, this is a term that you might well come across in geography at school. And number 10, to cause something to be below the waterline is to submerge it. That's a word that you might come across in all sorts of different contexts. How did you do? Give yourselves a pat on the back if you got a reasonable number of these right. Well done.